what could be in the box. Let's get the knife down and have a look, shall we? Have you noticed I'm using two hands? Got myself a little chest mount camera so I can use two hands working on the car and all that. God, I look stupid. But, right. Do you like my Damascus knives? Anyway, let's see what's in the box for the Polo today. Probably by the title of the thing, you probably already know. What have we got in here? We got a drive belt, or auxiliary belt. We have ooh, look at that. We have a new water pump. Where the hell does that O-ring sit? Oh, does it sit on that side, I'm assuming? Yes, that looks like it's inside the engine, doesn't it? Right, so yeah. So, feels alright. So I'm assuming that goes on there. Like that. Yep, looks like it. Let's put that back in there so I don't lose it. What we got left in the box? And we have a cam belt. Really small cam belt that I really hope it's the right size. God, that seems thin. It is only a 1 litre engine though, but there we have it. That is what's in the box. I may have just found a problem. Look at the size of this cam belt. Oops, wait. Look at the size of this cam belt and look at this water pump. There's no way in hell that is supposed to be that small compared to that, is it? There's not meant to be a bloody gap there, is there? That ain't right, is it? God's sake. Let's put it all back in because today is actually the day before. I'll be doing the cam belt tomorrow, but in YouTube time, that is now. Right, we're at the car, we're about to do this. First of all, I want to remove the air filter cover, all the air filter bits there, get that off. Then I need to remove the timing belt timing belt cover. Anyway, I'm going to flip this around to a better view so you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. Right, first things first, I'm going to remove this. I'm not sure how, I mean, this is actually quite odd. I've got to keep my body still while trying to work on a car. So, yeah, it's not going to work, is it? Whenever I put my arm there, I turn my body. Right, let's just do this in a weird, quick way. First, I'm going to undo that, and take this off. There we go, that has been removed. Now I will be removing this bolt here, this bolt down here, and this bolt here to take this cover off. Okay, this is what we are working with right now. Down here, there's the water pump, there's the crank pulley down there, and this is the cam pulley here. I've just found the marks. Luckily, these have a little special thing here telling you where. I've just put some yellow paint on it. I've put some yellow paint on there. Also got this thing just here. You can see that lines up. When this what do you call it, spins round, there's a little notch in it here that lines up with that notch. That tells you when the bottom's in line. And yes, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to jack it up, jack the vehicle up, get this wheel off so I can get access in there to the bottom crank pulley, and we'll go from there. One thing I am going to do first though is I'm going to remove the spark plugs. That enables me to turn the engine over without any compression, you know, pushing against me. So I'm going to remove these spark plugs, but first I'm going to mark, so I don't forget which order they go in. I'm going to put little just paint marks on here. 1 for that, 2 on that, 3 on, you get the idea. There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, done. Okay, as you can see here, I now have these timing marks lined up, and if you look down there, you can see that timing mark. Let me zoom in a bit. It's slightly off actually, but I don't know if that's just because of the person who did it before, but it looks slightly out, but maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it. So yeah, that's lined up, that's lined up. That will do for me. Right, I now have to get to this hole here is the hole. To get this bottom pulley off, I now have to get this bottom pulley off through this hole somehow. Right, I'll try and go from underneath. Yeah, this will be fun. It looks like it's not been off in a very, very long time. Wish me luck on this one. I tell you what, getting that bottom pulley off is probably harder than actually doing the cam belt. I reckon it's going to be. Bottom pulley's off. Woo! That was a bugger, that was. Now down here I've got to, what am I doing now? What am I doing now? What am I doing now? Right, now I am going to be undoing the bolts that hold this cover on. So there, oh, what am I doing? There, there. I'm not sure if there's one further down, but yeah, and there's one in there. And they also hold the water pump in as well, so it's about to get very messy down here. I didn't drain it first, so I'm just going to let it drop out, so bear with me on this. Okay, I've managed to undo or loosen the water pump bolts. There's 3 of them, one there, one there, one down there. The water pump itself, to tension the belt, you have to twist the water pump itself. It's got this special thing, where is it? There, just there, and I've got to try and detension it, but they're undone, but for some reason I cannot for the life of me budge this thing. So I'm just going to be having to go backwards and forwards at the moment, trying to loosen. This thing has been on, this has got to be the original one. This does not want to budge. Maybe if I give it a few, I'm going to give it a few taps and stuff, but yeah, this does not want to budge at all. That little slot there, I need to get this in and try and get this to break free. I'll come back to this once I've done it. Wow, all I'm going to say is wow. Old water pump off. This is the original part, I reckon, from 1988. Look at the turbines. Look how rusty that is. Look how corroded that is. That's nuts. Yeah, I'm so glad I decided to replace this. Look at the state of that. Jeez. Right. Let's just wash that down there. Okay. Let's have a look here. So, what I'm going to do is give that a bloody good clean out. A bloody good clean up before I even put the new one in. Let's just do a quick comparison, shall we? New shiny, one I just took out. Jeez. Bit of a difference there, isn't there? Jesus, look at the state of that. Yeah, best thing I've done on this car so far, I think. Okay, new water pump is now in with that cover back on. Timing marks are still lined up, although it's a bit stupid to put the bottom timing mark, right? They put on the pulley that you take off for some stupid reason. So I've got to put the cam belt back on, then put the bottom pulley back on, then I'll know whether the bottom's still timed up. But there we go, you get the idea. Right, now time to put the cam belt around that, around there, and around the crank pulley. Then put the bottom pulley back on. That's going to be a nightmare job. Then I'll try and make sure the timing's still lined up, and then we'll go from there. This has not been a great video. It's not been a fun job, but like I said, I'm documenting it, ready for anyone that wants to do a cam belt. When I searched on YouTube for how to, well, I know how to do it, to be fair. Most people, you know, if you know what you're doing, you do. But it's good to watch. A good mechanic researches too. They don't just go out there knowing what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? They research. So I went on YouTube, as you do, typed in Mark II Polo cam belt water pump change to see if there's any special tools I needed and that, because I've never done one on one of these cars before, and couldn't find anything. All I could find was 1.6 Mark I Golfs and stuff. Could not find a single video with the Mark I Polo 1 litre cam belt and water pump change. So I'm making one for you. So it's probably not been the best video, but you can see what you got to do. So anyway, I'm now waffling, so I will get back on with the job and try and get this cam belt on. Okay, that is the bottom pulley back on and bolted up properly, and as you can see, it lines up still lines up spot bollock. I've cycled it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times now. I've gone round and round using the bottom crank bolt to turn everything over, and it still lines up every time. So it's not out by 1 tooth or nothing. It seems to be doing its thing. So that is that done. Bottom pulley's on and bolted up. What I've got to do now is put on this here. This is the new auxiliary belt. Look at the state of the old one. Look at the teeth on the old one. Focus, you stupid camera. Look, half the teeth are missing. Look at the state of that. Oh, you stupid camera. Anyway, yes. So it's time to fit this new pulley. And how you do that is, on the bottom where the alternator is, you undo this little bolt and this little cog. You turn it back, and it actually, you can use the alternator to tension that pulley. So I don't like the way this keeps me riding over. Don't like the way it keeps doing that, but it should be all right. Anyway, yeah, so I'll get on with that. And by the power of magic, the auxiliary belt is on and tight. Right, so next to do is literally put the cover back on. Actually, I want to start it up. Well, there's no water in it though, but yeah, I want to start it up. See if it still starts alright and stuff. Just give it. Oh, I've got to put the spark plugs back in first, actually, before I start it up, because it ain't starting without them. So let's do that. Let's put the spark plugs back in first. Okay. I was going to start the engine so I could see that going around and make sure it was seated properly and everything, but I've gone to start it and the battery's dead. It's just sod's law, isn't it? So I'm going to put it all back together. I think it's done. It's done. I'm going to put it all back together, put the engine back together, put the battery on charge, and to be fair, I think that's pretty much done. I think that is ready for, apart from me wanting to change this radiator, but right now I'm going to put the cover back on, put the air filter box and that back on, put the wheel back on, drop it on the floor, everything's done. Apart from that, oh yeah, I've got to put coolant in it as well, make sure the water pump doesn't leak, which I can't really do with the engine's not running, but I'll do that. That's the point. I need to, oh bugger. Right, I think I charge the battery, sit down for a bit, have a cup of tea, and then I will, yes, have a cup of tea, charge the battery, start it up, and then I can put it back together, because I want to see if the water pump's leaking or not first. It's just a check you have to do, really, otherwise you've got to take it all back apart, which would be a nightmare, but I don't think it's leaking. I don't think it will leak. I'm on about the seal. You just make sure it's seated properly. But right, what I'll do is I will go and sit down, have a cup of tea, and then come back to it in a sec. There we have it. All working perfectly. Happy days. Right, I suppose we better put this back together. And there we have it. Polo is now done. Everything's back together. Cam belt's done, water pump's done. Yes, happy days. There we go. Back together she is. but that's just a temporary one. I've actually got one that my mate is airbrushing for me, so that I found this old rusty one to put on until that one's done. But anyway, yes, that is the Polo done. Well, the cam belt and water pump done. Let me turn it off before I gas myself out. There we go. So that is that done. Hope somebody else can get useful information from this video to do their own one, because I couldn't find anything online. But anyway, move over here so I can say, don't forget to like and subscribe. Mainly subscribe right here. Subscribe right there, and maybe watch another video. I got other videos, so yeah, there we go. See you in the next one.